Ladies and gentlemen, in crypto, things are getting even crazier than they were yesterday. And the main reason I am saying that now is because yesterday there was some speculation as to why crypto prices were falling, what was really happening. But today, unfortunately for some, it's been confirmed that Mt. Gox has been sending people Bitcoin. I'm just checking it out right now. Only 0.something% has been sent, but the expectation for what's about to happen is kind of scary. Now, let me rephrase that. I am personally not afraid of where Bitcoin or crypto will end up. I'm just talking about when I'm looking through these comments, the amount of people who are saying, this is going to get bad. Imagine what's going to happen as we get to 50%. Because the expectation, for the most part, is that everybody that got their Bitcoin hacked back in whatever 2013 or something is now going to sell, as they now got themselves a 10 or 100x or whatever. I don't know the average number for the people. So just to get you guys an idea, $8.2 billion worth of redemptions. And right now we've got about 0.08% being distributed. And again, when I'm looking through the comments here, nobody knows exactly how long it's going to take. For the most part, though, it's just people saying, man, 8 billion for a $1 trillion asset, it's a lot because it's mostly going to be selling pressure. And man, the last couple of videos I've been checking out are are pretty funny to me. You know, this is people just crying over their losses a little bit. That's mostly of what I've been taking a look at today over on Twitter. One of the interesting ones also, though, was this right here, that over $500 million worth of crypto liquidations happened over the past 24 hours. As again, prices right now as it stands are at what? $56,000 yet again? And here's one of those articles actually that showcases, or one of those tweets I should say, not an article. 0.08%, 99.92% still ongoing. The comments on this one are actually quite neutral. Mitchell here has, I guess, the sentiment that most people feel, which is if I'd seen 100x on my coins after like 10 plus years, I'd also probably sell. And this is another funny little tweet. Show us you're short. And the reason people sometimes say this is because often people come up with these negative things. Like, for example, Mt. Gox redemptions have started repaying customers with their Bitcoin after over a decade. Immediately after this begun, on-chain data shows a hefty increasing selling volume from these wallets. No Bitcoin will say this out loud, but the majority of the $8 billion will be basically sold off. If I understand this is controversial, but based on the current low demand volume, this will easily send Bitcoin back in a harsh bear market. And so people often like to say this, but then not back it up with their own massive short. Yeah. So that's basically preaching something that you don't fully believe. If you honestly think things are going to start crumbling down and a full-on bear market's going to start, like he says right there, then probably you would have a crazy short position open, or at least that's just my take on it. Now, I will quickly say that right now, as prices are falling, is the first time in a very, very long while that we have actually broken the trend. And even though this is one of the ugliest charts I've ever shown you because there's too many things drawn in, you can see that the price was basically converging, coming to a central point. And only now are we all of a sudden breaking out towards the downside. And again, for the most part, it's because the fear is at one of the highest points in many, many months. And the price currently at $56,800, falling pretty significantly. And just to show you guys, over the past couple of hours, we've just been falling. Not doing too good right here. But just taking a few seconds in the middle here. Bitcoin just fell to $55,500. Personally, by the way, if you're wondering, I'm trading over on Bybit. But that's pretty steep, man. I mean, the fear is a lot more significant than I would have imagined. Once more, if you're looking at the chart right now, and this is just to give you guys an idea, very often it can be wise to buy when the price is crashing this much in a few minutes. So for example, right here, I cannot see the percentage, but it dropped from, let me quickly see, 56.3 to 55 flat. If that happens and it drops like $1,500 in 7 minutes or so, it is very often smart to buy that dip. I have one order that just got triggered at 55.2. I just got a message. And right now we're back at 55.9 the minute afterwards. That's a quick little flip you can often make. We've talked about this for a while. There's a couple of bots you can apply for that. I'm not saying that we won't go lower than 55,000 right now. I mean, things are pretty bad. Things are pretty bad in terms of the sentiment. The fear is so high. And I think perhaps a lot of countries have not woken up yet to realize this fear and to realize that the price is falling so much to sell even more. But I just wanted to quickly say that about the quick, sometimes flips. Then again, be wary of further drops. Some people were right saying that one more correction had to come in to shake everybody out. And I guess it's here. But the fear is crazy, man. It brings up the question of what are our thoughts for the longer term? In my opinion, not that much has changed, but I will say that this fear can get very overwhelming. So if you're in the middle of all of it, just realize one thing. People like to go with the flow. People don't like to preach what's not happening right now. So when you see people saying, oh, we're falling, we're going to fall more, it's just people saying, follow the trend, and them also preaching that same story of, you know what, since we're falling, we're going to fall forever. And people do the same thing when things are going up. We're going up, so we're going to go up forever. Understand that nothing great can be achieved without a little bit of negatives in the midst. And with this, I still personally believe that yes, we may go down for a little bit. Yes, things may get kind of dark in the midst of things. But ultimately, like I said, if you buy your way down lower, you can argue against it, but that's my thoughts thus far for the last, 15 years of Bitcoin's existence. It's always worked because still we're at some of the highest points ever. And I still will practice exactly that. I'm not really afraid of the longer term. The short term, nobody really knows. All I'm saying is, I think people are pulling some of this stuff way out of proportion. Yes, Mt. Gox has a lot of selling pressure, but on the contrary, we knew that for a long time. And if BlackRock and all those guys opened it up and are actively buying, not maybe BlackRock itself, but you understand the institutions that are getting these ETFs, they're actively buying. I think those guys knew Mt. Gox was coming up for a long time, yet they still bought anyway. If that doesn't make you excited for the longer term, then I don't know. Again, I'll say that short term things can get dark because people are kind of crazy. They act too much on emotions. And very big institutions and the market makers, they will punish you for that. They'll punish you for that. Just like we saw right now with the $500 million in liquidations. I think right now, if we were to go to CoinGlass and check, which I will actually do as I am speaking here, just quickly check to see if that number right now is even higher. Here, let's go for Bitcoin liquidations. Right now, over the past 24 hours, we got about $452 million. Actually, not too bad. But the last hour, 50 million? No, definitely not too bad. 4 hours, 194 million, 12 hours, 251 million. It's coming in heavy right now. And yesterday was one of the crazier days since when? Since April 13th or something like that. But even then, in comparison to what we saw back then, it's not that crazy. Perhaps because the prices are going to get down a little bit more gradually, not as much of a flash crash. Ultimately, though, yeah, this is all just part of a bigger plan. I hope you guys feel the same way. I'm going to look through the comments of the previous video now and see what you guys are thinking about the whole situation. But me personally, I'm pretty big chilling. But maybe it's because I've been through a lot of these. If you guys remember 2021, some days you just wake up, 50% of your money gone, 80% of your money gone. I don't know, maybe I'm just like, I've been through the winter. This is like spring, it's okay. Maybe that's just me though.